Hello, this is Null. The silhouette that was posted in the community this time was actually Vice, but I made a silly mistake. I rendered the video as Matthew and used Vice for the silhouette, which caused a mishap. Since the characters have so many similarities, I guess I got confused. I considered making a new one with Vice, but since it would take too long, I chose the Matthew video I already made. Thanks for your effort. Matthew's standing A has the same animation whether it's used at close or long range, but in terms of performance, the long range version is overwhelmingly better. While it takes about as long to use Benamaru's long range B once, Matthew's long range A can be activated twice. It's that fast. It's 1 frame faster than close range A, can be cancelled just the same, and its hitbox is even better than the close range version. For the long range version, the attack hitbox goes past the animation line, making it ideal for poking at odd distances and surprising your opponent. Meteo's Far A is a normal move that you absolutely can't react to on sight. Let's make it so that you can link all your moves from Far A. The Far A, with its insane startup speed and hitbox, is pretty good for stopping the opponent's short hop rush. However, near or far, there's a flaw: crouching opponents can't be hit. Standing B helps beginners who can't hit low attacks to actually hit lows. For reference, just like A, B also doesn't have any difference between far and close versions. It's rare to land a hit from a distance, but if you do, Mature gets a frame advantage. Standing B's first hit is a low attack and it has a fast startup. You can also cancel from the second hit. It's a basic move that even fighting game beginners can hit confirm, so it's a really sweet normal. It also easily connects from other light normals, so even someone like Poppy, who was sleeping, can do it. If the A chain is too hard, this kind of combo isn't bad either. This is a Far C that can't be cancelled. Its startup speed and hitbox are pretty good, so I tried to find a way to use it somehow. It's a trash normal with no global reach or vision. If the opponent mindlessly pokes with a long normal, you can catch them like this, but situations like this won't happen easily. The reach itself is a bit longer than Far A. It's 1 frame slower than Far A, but it's still a very fast close C. It's the same startup frames as Kyoho's close C. This means if you're in close range and in a hurry, you can use C. After a jump attack, if you confirm a hit, close C is also good because it deals more damage than a light attack. If you're fast enough, you can even follow up with a special move, but it's difficult. Far D looks good, but I don't really know where to use it. The reach is actually pretty long, but it's too slow for the hitbox to come out. If you check the hitbox, it appears to ignore lows, but it doesn't. When you're too far to land a low attack, you'll still get caught. The reason is that a large hurt box appears in front before the attack's hitbox comes out. It's so slow that if you try to use this to keep your opponent in check, you might get your head smashed in. Seriously, it's just way too slow. Close D is hard to use for combos. It's a basic move you shouldn't use unless you can land it for sure. It's slow, but since it's easy to confirm on hit, if you do land it, you can easily connect a combo. You can't follow up a short jump with a light attack, and after a jump attack, you must use a heavy attack first. Even then, unless you hit at the lowest point, you can't connect to D. If you could use this freely in game, it would be really strong, but it's almost impossible. When you play Matthew, the move you'll use the most is crouching A. It's used for both zoning and combos. The reach isn't incredibly long, but since it comes out so fast, it can really annoy your opponent. Even if your opponent comes at you openly, just poking with crouching A is enough to take control. It's easy to connect into a special move, so it's a great basic move. If you have meter, it's also easy to follow up with a super move. Standing B is 2 frames slower. It's a slower crouching B. If you're up close, close B is better, but if you're at a distance, crouching B is good. You can't cancel into a special move, but you can link light normals, so if you land a crouching B, you should follow up with a standing B or A normal. This part is a very basic combo that anyone can use with just a little practice. If this is too difficult, just play the game by pressing Life C from a distance. From the perspective of Matthew, who doesn't have anti-air skills, the essential anti-air basic move is Crouching C. With its insane startup speed, you can use it as a one-button anti-air. However, since it's a basic move, its hitbox isn't that great. You can cut off frontal jumps like this, but the hitbox isn't very good, and the air hit stop frames are too short, so it's hard to use as your main anti-air. If an opponent jumps in to attack over downed Matthew, Crouching C's quick startup is great for stopping them. It's a solid zoning move. This is Crouching D. Its reach isn't bad, and it has the advantage of being cancelable into special moves. Since crouching itself is a bit slow, it can make your opponent let their guard down. If you cancel into a special move at this moment, it tends to catch them off guard, especially when you mix it up with Wang Zhangpum. It's great for messing with their timing. It's also very effective for surprise attacks like this. In the corner, using Crouching D into a special with Wang Zhangpum is tough for your opponent. Compared to 96, it's gotten weaker, but it's still pretty useful in its own way. In normal situations, you can occasionally use it cancelled from Crouching D. For cancels, you'll mainly use Wang Zhangpum and Despair. It's best used in the corner when your opponent is frozen, but watch out for combos. If you make them block a jump in with strong recovery, like a jump CD, and then use it, the opponent might get hit trying to react. Use B for short hop rushes, and mainly CD for full jump rushes. Honestly, there are a lot of characters with better normals than Matthew, but this is all Matthew has to use. Its hitbox is small, and it's not fast frame-wise. When it hits, Matthew gets a huge frame advantage, so it's really good for pressure. He gets frame advantage on hit. Jump A without any Celtic in the world has nothing but drawbacks, so let's skip it and go straight to Jump B. Even fighting game newbies can hit confirm it because it's a basic air move that hits twice. Whether you use it with a high jump or a short jump is up to you, but since it hits twice and is easy to see, there's no reason not to use it with a short jump, right? And if you hit too high, the stun is short so the combo won't connect, so just using a short jump is safer, right? It's pretty bad for rushing, but it's a jump C that's used for air-to-air. As you can see from the hitbox, its priority is quite good. You should use it when you're higher than your opponent. It's a jump D that has its attack hitbox more toward the top. Did people who played Metheo for the first time just use it for rushing without thinking? It's a basic move for poking. If the opponent is lower than you, it's a basic air-to-air move you can use. The downside is that if the opponent rushes in with a short jump, you can't interrupt them. Should you consider using Jump C or Far A for things like this? When going for air-to-air, instead of forward jump, Sujicook uses back jump. Metheo's exclusive move is called Death Row. The command matches Iori's Ura 108 Shiki, making it easy to learn. If you use A, the movement distance is short, so C is always better. Sometimes the last hit doesn't connect, and that's usually because you used A. If you use C, you can easily connect the last hit even after landing a close C. Death Row can be connected in various patterns. Let's start with a combo that sweeps low after a dash. Even from a simple B, you end up using meter like Iori's Hyper by using B Rush. Since this character is so good at low sweeps, mixing after image short hop rushes with short hops can really drive your opponent crazy. Even without mind games, the close B is so fast that opponents get hit if they can't react quickly, even if they see it coming. This is the Metal Massacre, a move that has been heavily nerfed. The distance it covers depends on the strength used. It still has the advantage of allowing you to quickly close the gap and get in close, and it's fast. However, it doesn't connect from B, which is the starting point of Medeo, so is it used to pressure the opponent? When you land a hit, it's ridiculous because the opponent recovers from stun first. If you apologize to a character like Iori, they won't even flinch. The stun lasts so long that you get beaten by an 8-frame normal attack. Of course, trash characters have no choice but to attack like this. This move is as useless as Metal, with no practicality anywhere in the world. At least Metal is fast, and it moves quickly, which is an advantage, but I can't see any situation where this can be used. The command is for anti-air, so at least Metal moves quickly, but this is mature. With one hit from Humiliation, you get blown up right away. It's tough, and it makes the character even harder. If metal moves at the minimum speed, at least metal moves quickly. It's the same backside move used by Vice. Metal moves at the minimum speed, so it feels a bit tense. Sometimes it's used, but the reason is that it's about 4 frames slower than Vice's. One interesting thing is that the light version is 4 frames slower than Vice's, but if you use the heavy version, it has the same performance as Vice's. Another difference from Vice is that it doesn't connect into combos. If you use the move as a technique, since Mature rarely uses the D side, it can work surprisingly well. The command is like a charged special move, but Mature fires a projectile. For opponents, it's her most troublesome move. The projectile's hitbox is excellent, and its aftermath is very favorable. The light version is slow, but rolling to avoid it is still risky for the opponent. You can catch a rolling opponent with a crouching A, or use the light version to rush in, using the projectile as cover. The hitbox is also tall, making it hard to jump over, but if you use Despair as an anti-air and predict the jump, it's very effective. The projectile itself doesn't do much damage, but it creates a situation that's very advantageous for Mature. With strong corner stun, it's effective when the opponent is frozen. You can keep pressuring in the corner, and if they move away, use the projectile to pressure from afar. Nocturnal lights can be easily connected from weak basic attacks. Honestly, it might not look that cool, but usually, when you have meter, it's best to use this. When you have meter, you should practice replacing Nocturnal with Death, so you can use it instead. It might not look flashy, but the damage is nothing to ignore. If you use it with max, it deals more damage than Heaven's Gate. One interesting thing is that the last projectile has a retreat property, but it's unlikely anyone will get hit by it. However, if it lands as a counter, you can see some bug-like damage. Heaven's Gate looks really cool, but it's hard to land a hit with it. If you use it normally, it deals a bit more damage than Nocturnal. But it doesn't connect from a light attack, so you have to land it with a heavy attack. Unless you're a monster, it's hard to hit, so it's not easy to use. The most reliable way to land it is to connect it from a crouching sweep. When you use it at max, the intense damage and the bright red effect are really satisfying. But if your cancel timing is even a little late, it gets blocked, so Nocturnal, which is stronger and easier to hit, is a better choice. Use this only when you're certain you've won or want to show off. Although the pick rate itself isn't that high, it's a character that top online players in Korea often choose. It was Mature. Honestly, even if those guys picked Habru Shin, they'd still crush us, so it doesn't really matter. That's all from Doll. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe, like, and leave a comment.